It's March 2020, and the world as I knew it has come to a standstill. Much like you, I too was home. All I could really do was be home, stay safe, and look out of my own window. In this, however, I realized something rather unusual. Dotting the backdrop of my very neighborhood was a colossal mountain. You wouldn't think of mountains when you think of Delhi, would you? Turns out, this mountain is actually a dump site. And amongst three other in the city, these are areas designated for the city's waste disposal. Hi, I'm Gunrag, a young architect and social innovator. This is the story of how I have been trying to reimagine dreadful realities in Delhi's waste management, all by bringing in a human perspective. What do you think of when you think of waste? Is it stinky, unhygienic, unsanitary? Now imagine decades of waste accumulating in a single area and slowly decomposing. In my vicinity at Bhalaswa, such a dump site has rewritten the place's identity. Over the last decades, it has choked the surrounding ecosystem, polluting all the soil, water, and air. Can you imagine living next to such an atrocity? Here's a reality check. At Bhalaswa, over 200,000 people live and continue to bear the brunt of these dire conditions. With the COVID pandemic and the climate crisis, there is a newfound urgency. While we are all vulnerable, especially vulnerable are those who are currently disadvantaged. If we're looking for a better future, now is the time to act. Since 2020, I've been working on ground with affected communities at Bhalaswa. In the process, we've identified several of their concerns. Amongst many others, of Rita, Rohit, and Ramnath, who feel vulnerable after repeated instances of the landfill falling off their houses. Can you imagine waking up choking with the landfill's debris blocking up your front door? Or of Rani, who is distressed by the increasing state of substance abuse in the area and subsequently the lack of safety and security. Can you imagine being landlocked with no help at arm's reach? Or of Dr. Neeraj, who is perturbed by the idea of running a healthcare center next to a dump site. Can you imagine young mothers carrying their infants through a road full of sludge every time they have to visit a clinic? We have been working to develop a range of solutions for a better Bhalaswa. For the worst affected communities, we have initiated a rehabilitative process. Believe me, it has not been an easy road. We've had to navigate through several challenges and numerous authorities. Today, we're working to create inclusive public spaces with the community. In the process, endowing them with new skills and building capacity. In an attempt to uplift their state of living, we have proposed resettlement. Reimagining public housing, we are promoting ideas of green and thriving neighborhoods. New development in the area has the potential to not only integrate, but also remediate the landscape. Our vision for a better Bhalaswa is an equitable city. We're working in our capacity to develop place-based solutions and inform policy suggestions. If there's one thing we know for certain, it's that we cannot take on the dump site alone. A better Bhalaswa is possible with your help, and the answer lies in taking responsibility. As an individual, we contribute around half a kilo of waste every day. Sounds rather insignificant, doesn't it? Why is it then that this little amount is so hard for us to manage? Perhaps the answer lies in asking the right questions. For starters, why should our waste lay waste to another place?